Hi, I'm Stephanie Wainwright. I'm a wife, a mom, a business owner, and my life is chaotic all the time. So I created this podcast to help you find the funny, the good, while navigating through the chaos. This is Chaotic Compass Podcast. Hey guys, Stephanie here, Chaotic Compass Podcast. Thanks for joining in. It's just me for this episode. I did not wrangle in or volunteer or voluntold anybody this evening. But I wanted to let you know we are celebrating here. So not only last week was it our 20th episode, but Ryan and I just had a anniversary, 2 years being married and 6 years together. So give it up for us. It would be cooler if I had him here, I guess, but it's just me tonight. So I just wanted to talk about, we're celebrating. This isn't the reason why I drink today. So we're going to celebrate today. So 2 years of being married, you guys. But it's so crazy how many times Ryan tried to propose to me. I've kind of lost count there, but I actually tried to propose to him in the beginning. It was probably, I would say 2 years in. We were living together by this point. So yeah, I proposed to him, bought him a ring. I mean, didn't get down like on a knee or anything, but had like a whole spiel and gave him a ring that was way too big and had a whole thing. Somewhere along the lines, the wires got crossed and he didn't really see it as that. Really don't know his side of the story there. He could probably tell you. But anywho, he really took it upon himself of, I don't think that that's the way things are supposed to be done. And didn't really keep following through with the whole let's plan a wedding thing once Stephanie proposed. So, and then he proposed to me probably about a year later, but we were in a really bad place, or at least I was in our relationship. He had been saving it for a while, apparently for the ring. Yeah, I was not in a good place. I just started a new job and I was living at the marina where I used to work at, and still hearing about all of the customers and all of the jobs and all of the things that I had left behind. And I was really jealous that he got to still work there, and I couldn't. It was really where it was at. I know that sounds like a really dumb reason of not being able to marry somebody, but I was having a hard time with him as a human being. I know, poor Ryan. So I said no. Like, our relationship is pretty much on the rocks, and so no. And then I think it was probably about a year later. At this point, he had finally left the marina. I was doing better with my job, and we were almost getting back on track, I guess. And but I wasn't there, and he proposed on the beach in Ocracoke, and he had a whole thing, and it was like at night with the beautiful stars and the whole thing, right? What every girl would dream of, I would imagine. There wasn't like a whole like string quartet or, a flash mob or something like that. But, it was just us on the beach and there was nobody else. And he actually got down on a knee, and I just said, I'm getting there, but I'm not there right now. And then I think it was, he finally proposed again, and it was one random Sunday, and he was like, just popped it out. It was like, so what do you say? It wasn't him down on one knee. It wasn't. I finally said yeah. And then I think it was about a week and a half later we were married. There was no time. We got married on a Thursday, but the significance of the date is that was the when we actually started dating. So it's kind of, so we wouldn't have to have so many anniversaries, I guess, or something like that. But so 4 years to the day after we started dating, we got married. at Yorktown Beach at the gazebo, and then went to our favorite restaurant with our closest family members and had a couple of beers and dinner just like it was no big deal. Kinda. I mean, it was a big deal, but it was, very low key. But that was it, and that was 2 years ago. And pretty much our whole marriage has been surrounded by COVID, a pandemic, a quarantine, and lockdown, and shutdown, and navigating through that while navigating through owning 2 businesses and 4 children and a partridge in a pear tree or something like that has not been easy. Not gonna lie. Our marriage is not pretty. It's not pretty. On a regular basis, there are arguments and tears but not to get all sappy, but what I have learned about myself is that I'm willing to fight for something that I really do believe in. And it's why I know that it's been so easy for me to walk away from a lot of things. So me fighting really hard, being super passionate about our relationship and communication and all of the things that go with it is I really, really want this to work. I've sworn up and down to him. It's like, if this doesn't work, because this is my 3rd marriage and I'm not proud of it, but if this doesn't work, that's it. Like, I don't want to date anymore. I don't want to, I'm almost 36. I don't want to, that's it. If I can't make it work with him, then there's no point. And I'll just focus on my kids and focus on something else besides boys. So, but yeah, that's 2 years. I looked it up. Apparently, for your 2-year anniversary, you're supposed to give something cotton. What is that? What's up with the whole anniversary? You're supposed to give something that goes along with what some person 150 years ago said. I don't know. I mean, okay, technically on date night the other night we went to the arcade close to us, and we don't use our points. We don't use our tickets that we win, and we finally did. I mean, we bought an air fryer one time. We used our tickets for an air fryer one time, but he got me a t-shirt from there. It's purple. It's kind of lame, but I mean, I guess that counts for, I didn't get him anything, So, yeah. So 2 years. So we celebrated by going away, and we are super broke. So we tried something different. Because I really wanted to go away, and I have a gypsy soul. I don't know if you're like this, but I definitely am. I cannot sit still in one place. I want to go see all the things, right? I want to go to all the places and do all the things, but my bank account says you get to go to work. So we went to area where my family used to go all the time when I was a kid, up in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, Greenbrier County. And we went to the Greenbrier State Forest. And we went, quote, quote, camping. We didn't have a tent because those are expensive and pretty hard to come by apparently now. And we packed up what we could, and we made the back of my car, laid all the seats down in my SUV, and made that our tent. And I got to sniff trees. So I wrote about this in a blog on my my website, by the way, at chaoticcompass.com. And I've got pictures, and I really didn't take a lot of pictures, but I got some pictures on there, and a little detail, and you can see links of exactly where we stayed at. But yeah, I went camping for our anniversary, which honestly, it really did feel like it fed my soul. It really did feed my soul. And I just wanted to sniff a tree. And that sounds so weird, right? I didn't want to get up on a tree and sniff it and be weird. But I wanted to go out and the woods and the mountains and just breathe that air. It just that air just it smells differently in the fall. And we tried to do it a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, and it was so hot. And none of the leaves were falling yet, and none of the leaves had changed yet, and it was just like, what? What are we doing? This is not it's still summer in September. But we had gone there and we camped in the back of my car, and I bought one of those percolating coffee, makers, and that was pretty cool because I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid. And I can remember my dad always, needing a cup of coffee, and it really didn't make sense to me, but we tried. We learned a lot of things of what not to do with the percolator coffee maker, but still was yummy coffee. But yeah, I had a really good time. It was just nice to go to some of the places that I used to go to all the time when I was a kid. Like, I was really not, my parents did not do like lavish vacations or anything like that. We would pile into a car, and because we had small cars, we would have to rent a car or rent an SUV, pile everything in it, and we would go camping for a week. Usually we would camp probably 4 or 5 days, and then the last couple of days we would go in town and stay at the hotel because they had a pool and they had hot showers. And the place that we would stay at, they didn't at the time, now they do, but they didn't at the time even have hot showers. You would have to take a shower, bath, whatever, in the creek. Yeah. That water, even in August, that's when we would go, is frickin' freezing. Freezing, okay? Freezing. Whew. I don't even know what, I mean, obviously it's just a thing, but it was just so cold. I mean, it was different. And then you have to watch out for crawdads, apparently. It's like these little looking lobster things. See, and this is how sheltered I am. We don't have that here in Virginia, or at least where we're from in Virginia. So you would have to make sure that you would wear some like water shoes so they wouldn't come out and get your toes. Thinking about it now, it's probably like some story that my mom came up with to make us wear shoes in the water or something, because those rocks are slippery. Cool area. Like, my mom's side of the family, like, that's their history. Actually, my mom's side of the family is a McCoy, like the McCoy Hatfields feud thing. So Greenbrier County is her jam. Like, that's where a lot of her mom's mom, all that side of the family was raised, born, bred, raised, died, kind of thing. But yeah, it's a cool area. Definitely lots of hill mountains and windy roads, and trying to get back to the old campground that we used to live in. It was super sketch. And I don't really remember that as a kid. But, and the speed limit apparently is only 30, and I don't remember my mom ever going 30 on that road. So that was fun to figure out. But it was just nice to get away, and saw a lot of cool things. The town of Lewisburg, which is pretty close to there, is really cool, and it's really nice. And apparently it's like nominated for like best cool small town in USA or something. I don't know. They have it plastered everywhere you go, and that it's like they're really proud of it. And where we stayed at, I love that area, by the way, but where we stayed at, it's like you go through this tunnel, and I have pictures on that blog, but you go through this tunnel, and it's like you're transported in time into the next dimension of back in the, like, there's trees on either side. It's super primitive. Like, they do have electricity and they do have running water, but that is about it. And the main reason why we picked this place is because they actually had cell phone service. They had our cell phone service provider, because I still do have to work while I'm down there, or up there, over there, we're ever there. So unfortunately, that is one of our hindrances that we have to make sure that that coverage is there. Up at the campground where we used to stay at when I was a kid, that did not. And then I knew for a fact there was, we used to stay at Watauga State Park. Brian and I randomly found that one year, and we just stayed there this past, and it snowed when we were there, so it was pretty cool. But that's up in West Virginia. But I know for a fact that does not have cell phone service, and that doesn't have cell phone service for a while. That has nothing. Like, they have Wi-Fi at their office that you can soak up, but that Wi-Fi doesn't go very far. So, yeah. Apparently, if you look at, okay, so we have Verizon. If you look at the Verizon map, it's literally like every state along the East Coast is, pretty good. And then there's West Virginia. So I feel bad for them. But, so we were successful in our camping, quote, quote, adventure for our anniversary. And we're definitely looking at doing it again. Because, it wasn't that expensive to stay there. I think it was $30 a night or something, which is kind of on the high end, but yeah, so we're looking at other places to go camping again, and I think it would be pretty cool. So, but yeah, learned a lot. Do's and don'ts about camping. We'll probably do another episode on that, camping on a budget, which is pretty much it. But yeah, so it was definitely nice to just get away, nice to sniff a tree, nice to drink coffee out of a percolator coffee maker. And of course, I sang that percolator. It's time for the percolator, Yeah, I did that because I'm that white, unfortunately. But it was good. So, I wanted to share. We had 2 years of being married together. So we're celebrating. We are celebrating, guys. So today I am drinking, this is a new one that I found. So it's the Downey cider, which is something that, we've loved for a couple of years now, which is up in Boston. But they've got it in our local store here in a variety pack. And this was one of the ones in the variety pack. So it's, and it's like, speaking of white, it's the Downey's Unfiltered Cider White. So that'll be fun. It's got orange and white on the can. Normally their ciders are like 6 or 7%. So I think this one's less. I should write these things down before I start recording. But yeah, so Downey's Cider White has 5.5% compared to 6.9. So it's not as strong, but it still comes in the same can, the 12-ounce can. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. It's got like a little bit of an orange, but it's not really orange. It's still yummy. Definitely good. Different. I don't know what that is. Oh, yep, it says it right here. Orange peel and a lemon peel. So it's super citrusy. I don't know why they would call it white though. I guess it's clearer. It really isn't clearer. So I don't know. I don't know what the aspect of white means here. But it's super yummy. So Downey Cider has a variety pack. They have their it comes with the double blend, their original, and white, which I'm all for. Like, if you're gonna give me a variety of ciders in a pack, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with the Bull Rock cider. They come in a variety pack, but it comes with the draft and then an IPA. Yeah, those are not my fave. Ryan will drink them for me, but those are not my fave. Yeah, celebrate the things, you guys. I am so happy to be married with my husband for 2 years. Like, Yes, he does piss me off, and he literally just pissed me off maybe 30 minutes before getting onto this. So I try my best in this marriage, and it's not perfect and it's not pretty, but we go by that song that, oh my gosh, it all started with a beer. That song, I'd have to look it up and I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, like, that's how we got here. It all started with the beer. So celebrate the good, celebrate the awesome. Find something good to celebrate today. I know whatever you're going through may seem hard, and it probably is really hard. And I'm so sorry that you might be struggling right now, but go outside, stand in the sun, or hug on your kids or your animals or your stuffed animal or whatever you need to do, because you are amazing and there's something good in your life and you just have to look. And cheers to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all of your love and support. If you really loved today's episode, you should subscribe. And if you subscribe, then you get notifications of when my next episode launches. So another way to be super awesome would be to leave a rating and review, or recommend it to your friends and family. If you're wicked awesome, you've already done all three. Another way to keep up with me and my crazy family is check out my website at chaoticcompass.com, and I do blog and other stuff there. So I appreciate everything for you guys. I do this for you, so keep it up, because the more you subscribe, the more I do.